look. That looks like a tapir maybe? Oh my gosh, I have a backpack. I have a hatchet. I have rope. I have rock. I have a chicken drumstick. Take me to my notebook. I wanna look. I said don't eat the mushrooms. Don't even listen to me. Hey, I'm Kinga Philipps. I'm a survival expert. This is Experts Play on Gamology, and today I am actually gonna be playing Green Hell, which is gonna be very mildly entertaining because this, you guys, is the first video game I have ever played. This is a foreign object. All right, you guys, I am a gamer. I am actually playing Green Hell. So far, right now, we are going to set a fire, which is great. Get lost in the wilderness, one of the first things you wanna do. We actually have water as well. There's a waterfall, running water, always your best option because it's not stagnant. All right, so let me find a place for my fire with my handy dandy little remote here. So word on the street is if it turns white, that is a good place for the fire. In the real world, that would be finding a nice dry place for it. Fire's awesome anywhere you go. You're probably thinking jungle, it's really freaking hot. Why would I want a fire? Let me tell you why. Because you can boil your water, you can cook your food, it's gonna keep the mosquitoes away, it's gonna keep the jaguars away. You definitely wanna keep those away. Looks like I found a white spot, but now how do I, create. Hold to run, do I wanna run? I don't wanna run. All right, let's go back to my fire, see what's going on there. Well, you know what? Looks like my fire went away, but that's okay. We don't need it just yet because you know what this guy has? He has a tent. He's pretty freaking lucky because this tent is badass. Normally I'd be like, let's build a debris hut, but why do that when you have this gigantic tent with a fan and art on the wall? All right. Okay, well, at least we can burn the art if we need to do something. Why don't we take a look around? Because one of the first things in a survival situation is to basically have a look around, see where you are, maybe find a high point, a vantage point. Looks like I can climb up here and have a look around. Now at this point, I don't know if I'm lost or if I'm just kind of hanging out with like my big, badass, beautiful tent. But if I were lost, the jungle and the canopy can be very disorienting. So you want to find like a little high point. In a survival situation, actually, a vine is a good source of water, but you gotta be kind of careful because if you cut the wrong one, you're gonna poison yourself. Sort of the thing with most plants. So actually if you cut a vine and it's got like a sticky white fluid in it, that's gonna be poisonous. If it's clear water, you're more likely better off drinking that. But really, unless you're a botanist, I would say, unless it's a fruit that you can easily identify, just stay away from it. Okay, so here's me walking forward. That is what I've accomplished so far, is being able to walk and look around. Clearly, I am like on the up and up of gaming right now. I'm hearing rushing water. This is great. Again, a source of water, moving water is your best option. Way better than stagnant water. Also probably a good place to place camp. You just don't want to be too close because what if there's a flood? You're dead. You don't want that to happen. Plus, if people are looking for you, running water is also gonna drown out the sound of that. So be close to water so you have that as a water source, but maybe not too close. All right, I see palm trees, edible, heart of palm, really good. Maybe they got some coconuts for you or some more vinage. Ooh, I wonder if I can climb. Let me see my buttons here. I can jump. Not good at jumping, not a good jumper. Not a good jumper. I want to be careful with climbing and stuff like that because the last thing you want in a survival situation is a compound fracture, a broken bone, or any kind of an injury. If you do break a bone, that's a big fat bummer. But what you'd want to do immediately is splint that. You can use some twigs for it. If you have any kind of a wound, you're going to want to close that up because that is a breeding ground for bacteria. You can close that up with duct tape. That's something that I always carry with me. You want to stop the bleeding immediately. Worst case scenario, you're going to burn a stick and cauterize it, but that's like some advanced survival and not really fun. Ooh, look at these big leaves. Those are actually really great for a number of reasons. If you are out in the jungle and you need some water, you're gonna have some fresh rainwater and some dew on those leaves. Actually, if you have a plastic bag, you could put it around one of those leaves and then catch the condensation. You can also use it to build a shelter, to kind of waterproof it. You can also use it as a hat because you don't want heat stroke and sunstroke and all that ugly hot stuff when you're in the jungle, because jungles are hot. You know, kudos to all you gamers out there, because this is a lot harder than it looks. It really is. I've already fallen off of a couple of cliffs, just even like practicing earlier. I died like 5 times. So in a survival situation, other than staying calm and just observing your space, one of the first things you're gonna wanna do is find water. Always boil your water about 10 minutes. Another great source of water would be if you found bamboo, those little ridges along bamboo. They tend to collect water. You can even break one off and use it as a water canister. Well, I have solar panels. Really? You know, obviously, if you end up in a survival situation because of a plane crash, or maybe your boat engine dies and you're in the middle of the Amazon, had that happen to me, you want to take stock of what you have, because most likely what you have with you is going to be super useful. Find a tool for cutting trees, it says. Oh well, which brings me, I guess, to my next point. If I had to have one survival tool with me, it would be a knife, an axe, or a machete. Machete, super useful in the jungle. You can hack things down, cut vines. Also, when you're walking, you want to make sure that you're not touching things with your hands, because a lot of these plants are super, super prickly. Really, your best source of food in a survival situation, and in a jungle as well, is always gonna be fish, insects, big animals like mammals. That's just, you're gonna expand so much energy. There's always a give and a take, right? So if you're out there trying to chase down a capybara, you're gonna expend more energy than you're gonna bring in. Because also remember, you're not gonna be able to keep that meat for very long because it is hot and humid in a jungle. What you're gonna wanna do is maybe make a fishing spear, get some fish, cook them up, can even dry them, you know, dried fish, yum. Ooh, look at this. Oh, and a lizard, totally eat lizards, you can eat them. We can get those lizards, you can eat them. Just make sure you gut them, because they are full of parasites, and cook them, cook everything. You know, if you're at a restaurant and you're like, oh, I like my meat medium rare, forget it. In the jungle, you want everything really well done. That's a cliff. I kind of feel like if I go forward, I'm gonna fall off. It's also a very big river, and you have a canoe there. A river is a great way to get back to civilization. You follow rivers, actually source them, find a stream, follow that to a bigger river, and eventually you will most likely hit civilization. What a beautiful place I'm in, surviving, and look at the macaws flying around. If they drop their feathers, I can use them for tinder. Oh, there it comes. So gorgeous. I want to see what's down there, but I also don't want to fall down this cliff. How do I get down there safely? Attack, blog, jump. If I jump, do I jump? Can I jump? Let's see what happens. Oh, I died. Killed by fall. Happens to the best of us, I guess. All right, let's go back and try again. I actually have anxiety playing this game. I think I'd have less anxiety actually being in the woods in a survival situation. I'm a halfway decent survivalist. Really, really crappy gamer. Here we go. Where am I? All right. Realistically, in a survival situation, you kind of want to sit still and wait for help to come, but you know, I'm playing a game here, so I want to see what's going on. Ooh, I'm by a river. Okay, this is great because maybe I can go fishing. Crossing rivers is a bit of a tricky thing because there are lots of hazards in there. Slippery rocks, fast current, getting caught in bramble, drowning, dying, getting eaten by crocs, caiman, all sorts of stuff, anaconda, piranha, you name it, lots of ways to die. Well, that could actually be a crocodile, that sound, that croaking sound. You're not gonna wanna eat that guy, he might eat you first. Rule of thumb is don't get eaten by what you wanna be eating. Again, if you're looking for food in a jungle, especially if you want plants, kind of the rule is if you're not a botanist, don't eat it unless you know exactly what it is. If you're like pineapple, avocado, clearly that's a mango, yeah man, go for it. But if you're like, what is this interesting plant? Just don't. Oh, an armadillo. Can I attack it? Oh, he ran away. So going after animals like that is a waste of your energy. Really the best thing to do if you want big meat is to create a trap, whether it is a snare or a deadfall, or maybe you could build like a hole trap, basically dig a hole, put some fruit in it, make it big enough for an animal to fall in, not be able to get out, but you can get it back out, and then you can get in there and you can bash it and eat it. But to actually chase animals around, even if you have a spear or a knife, it's just not worth your energy. Go for the fish, go for the creatures that are easy to get. Oh, I see like something jumping around over there. Is it a little frog? You can eat frogs, just not the bright ones in the jungle because those are probably poisonous. See, that guy's bright yellow. Color is a really good indicator with most things, including insects. If something is really bright, stay away from it. I see lots of plants. I see mud. Ooh, you know why mud's good? Because this is actually gonna basically act as a natural sunblock and also a bug repellent. So you can put it on your exposed skin, keep yourself from getting sunburned, and also keep yourself from getting bitten by mosquitoes and getting malaria. Nobody wants malaria. Malaria sucks. Trees, ferns. Ooh, what's that? Is that a bird? What is it? Oh, it's a mushroom. Yeah, definitely don't. No mushrooms. No mushrooms. Mushrooms are gonna kill you. I always wonder about historical times when people discovered which mushrooms were good and bad. That one killed Bob. That one made me see butterflies for 4 days. Now, those are the real heroes of our time. One of the things that you're gonna wanna do pretty quickly in a survival situation is you're gonna find water, you're gonna wanna build a shelter, so a lean-to, debris hut, all that stuff is really great. And you're gonna wanna have a fire. A fire is great for so many different reasons. Purifying water, cooking your food, keeping predators away. You wanna keep the jaguars away. One of the things that's tough in a jungle is everything is almost always damp. One of the best things to do is to dig around, maybe under a fallen tree, and the inside could very well be dry. If you're proficient in fire building, the drill method, the plow method, all that stuff is really great. And when Bear Grylls does it, it looks super easy. Let me be the first to tell you, it's not. So if you are lucky enough to have a lighter or a match or something like that, great, you're golden. If not, you're actually better off using a lens from your glasses or a camera lens or anything that you have to start a fire. Don't be fooled, jungle's really freaking hot, but at night it gets chilly. You can actually still develop hypothermia there, especially if you're damp all the time. Fire also has a really cool emotional component. Like, it just makes you a little bit more cozy, makes you feel like you're not alone and not gonna die. Well, let's just go into the water, see what happens. I like to experiment. Let's just wander around. Maybe we can find some fishes. We haven't made ourselves a spear. You can make a 4-pronged spear pretty easily. Oh, I'm swimming. Oh, who knew? I wouldn't really recommend this because you don't know what's in this water. You don't know how quickly it's moving. There could be crocodiles here, all kinds of stuff that could eat you, anaconda. Not a good way to go. But for the purpose of gameplay and maybe getting somewhere new, I think this is pretty cool. Am I stressed out here? Maybe I'm gonna go to the side. Let's see, how far am I from the bank? Let's just go back to the bank now. He's moaning and grunting. He doesn't really feel like, he's no Michael Phelps. All right, we're gonna climb up this log. Ooh, I can jump. Watch me jump. Not good at jumping. Actually, I would say I'm like really, really poor at jumping. I don't think anyone's ever gonna invite me to play games with them ever again. Oh, look, that looks like a tapir maybe? Now that is really good meat if you can get to it. But again, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna chase that guy down and kick him to death? You know, one way to find water, which again, in a jungle, it's not a humongous problem, but if you see insects flying around, bees, you could follow them because usually they're gonna be going towards a water source at some point. And animal trails too. Animals are pretty good survivalists and they're gonna wanna make their way down to water at least once a day. So following some animal trails is gonna help you identify that. We're kind of going upriver, it seems. This is kind of for gameplay. Realistically, you'd be going downriver because you're gonna follow that towards potential civilization. Is that rain up there? Oh, I just hit a rock. Oh, I'm underwater. No. Oh, did I drown? I think I drowned. You died. Killed by piranha. Oh. All right, where am I now? Ooh, it's raining in the jungle. Okay, well, this is a good time to talk about shelter. Because even in the jungle, being wet is gonna potentially lead to hypothermia. You're just not gonna be comfortable. So there's a rule of threes in survival. It's 3 minutes without air. It's 3 hours without regulated body temperature. It is 3 days without water and about 3 weeks without food. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh, I have a backpack. I have a hatchet. I have rope. I have rocks. I have a chicken drumstick. I have fire. If I want to eat my chicken drumstick. It's not letting me eat the chicken drumstick. All I wanted to do is eat the chicken drumstick. Oh, look at this. Hand drill, okay. Cool. So a hand drill is one way of starting a fire. This is great, not gonna work right now because it's really wet outside. It's also a lot harder than Bear Grylls and people like him make it look. And again, that is the reason why you wanna have a machete or at least a stick to kind of be making your way ahead of you with and moving plants and vines and brush because there are lots of snakes and lots of spiders and lots of prickly things in the jungle. That's actually kind of a cool cave. Like that could be a good place to like shelter. What am I doing here? I'm just gonna keep taking stuff. I'm just gonna keep collecting it. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna take it. I'm doing a lot more exploring than I normally would be in a survival situation. Survival situations are generally a lot more boring than this because you just kind of sit there going, I hope someone finds me. I'm gonna build a fire. I'm gonna build a signal fire. Food, it's gonna be lower on your bucket list because realistically, hopefully, knock on wood, you're gonna get rescued before you actually need food. But if you think you're gonna be out there for a while, that's when you need to start thinking about that. I'm like a kid in a candy shop with this game. I mean, I'm definitely not gaming. That's not what I'm doing. I'm actively taking a stroll in the jungle and looking around. But that's what I do, y'all. I don't play. I take strolls in jungles and look around for things to eat. Ooh, a torch. A torch is really good. You could make a torch out of cattails. You could make a torch out of moss. Torch is good. We don't need that yet. How about a fire? I kind of feel like I could work on a fire. That would be cool. How do I do that? How do I select a fire? Why did I pass out? I haven't had any nuts that are full of fats. Dang it. You're not gonna pass out that quickly, by the way, unless it's a heat stroke. You're fine. Buck up, man. You're fine. Take me to my notebook. I wanna look. Did I just pass out again? I died by poison? I said don't eat the mushrooms. Doesn't even listen to me. Here's me back again after dying of poison. Don't know how that happened. Said don't eat the mushroom. I said don't eat the plants. Oh, well, nuts are the best source of fat. Yeah, nuts are a good source of fat. It's great. Fruits are the best source of carbs. Yeah, just make sure that you know what you're eating. Again, if it's a mango, if it's a banana, if it's an avocado, if it's pineapple, great, eat it. If you don't know what it is, don't. Meat is the best source of protein, sure, but make sure that is fish and insects. Don't go chasing after big game because you're gonna actually waste more energy. Always drink safe or boiled water. Drinking unsafe water may lead to parasite infection and diarrhea. Yes, always drink safe water. Sources of running water are really great. Avoid stagnant water. Boil your water 10 minutes if you can. If you can't, find like the fastest moving source of water. All that rain, collect that rain. Collect it in those big leaves, catch it, get a bamboo, chop it down, use it as a water canister. Great, spears are really great. If you got flint, you can make a spear. Blades, looks like actually it does have a flint blade there. Axes, same thing. You can make that with a sharp piece of rock, flint ideal. Rub it with some, or wrap it with some cordage. Small shelters, this is really good. So you need a log, long stick, rope. You don't even need rope really. You could just honestly build a little lean-to. A leaf bed, this is really good because you do want to keep yourself off the ground. There's all kinds of bitey things in the jungle, from spiders to fire ants to scorpions, all kinds of stuff. So anything that will keep you off the ground, and also it will insulate your body from the ground leaching your body heat away. So if you are gonna build a fire in the jungle, which is one of the first things that you wanna do, again, a jungle is really, really damp, which is really, really tough to build a fire, but most likely you can find some dry kindling, whether you pull apart a dead tree and you pull out all the insides that are most likely dry, or you remove the top layer of just leaf litter on the ground and maybe there's something dry underneath, or you find some dry moss. In some environments, if you find cattails, they are almost always dry and protected on the inside, and they're a great source of kindling and tinder, so you need kindling. On top of that, you want some dry sticks. If you have a match, if you have a lighter, you are so golden. If you don't, you know, there's the primitive methods, the drill method, the plow method. Those are really tough. Again, ideally, you're gonna wanna use something like a lens from a camera, from a piece of glass. You know, I hate litter and garbage, but in today's world, you can find litter and garbage everywhere, even washed up on the sides of the river in the middle of the jungle. And at that point, it's your friend. In a pinch, you can even use a balloon or a condom to focus light and start a fire. That is true, kids. Put that in your book, write it down. Share it with your friends at a party. You may save their life, at least make them laugh. All right, so that was the intro to Green Hell, and I was kind of getting my footing as a gamer. Not so great at that, but I have to say Green Hell is actually pretty cool in the survival space. Lots of good little tidbits, really overall a fun game. So thoroughly enjoyed that and hope you guys did too. If you want more Gamology, check us out on Facebook and on YouTube. If you want to see more of me, I don't know, Instagram, somewhere in the woods. Thanks for watching Extras Play. All right, as the game is loading, I feel like my anxiety is loading. We've got fire! Have you done ayahuasca yet? I am a gamer.